So we are back in Mr. Hilder's man cave, living off the grid, doing his mountain man thing, and this is kind of interesting. I'm going to pan on over here, and I want you friends at home to see if you recognize, this looks really familiar. I think we were supposed to move the washing machine inside the house, but it looks like Mr. Hilder took it over.
It's more important right now.
So there's salt in my washing machine, and these look like are these deer capes?
Yeah, these are deer capes. And no matter what, I wanted to show you guys this because no matter what part of what kind of tanning you're going to do, whether it be hair on, hair off, you have to get the hide salted. That is the #1 key thing. People skip this step and then they have issues.
Okay, so today
I flushed yesterday, and Starry wasn't here, and I was going to set the camera up, but I'm like, I'm not into that kind of stuff. So, but anyhows, I got a bunch of skins in the other day, green, frozen,
deer skins.
Deer skins, and so what I did is I turned them all inside out. This is part of the process. I won't go into great detail, but it's called detailing the cape. The ears are turned inside out, just to give you a little perspective of what it is. This is the deer's face, and then the antler, the rack would go.
Oh.
If you can imagine that. So it's been skinned off.
Skinned off, turned inside out.
Turned inside out. So the salt, and the reason we do that, turned it inside out and detail it. The nose has been split, is so we can get salt into every nook and cranny. That is vital to set the hair.
Okay, so the salt is to set the hair.
People don't realize how important it is. So salt, salt, salt.
And you do this, I'm just going to interrupt real quickly. So when you're talking about salting the hides, this is for any hide that you get. If you want to tan it, buckskin or regular tan.
And once the skin is salted, it's preserved indefinitely. What the salt does is it pulls the moisture out, so then bacteria can't grow, and it's the first step. You can go through the summertime. It's just sort of like another preservation method. And the salt that you want to use, just go to your feed store, or like a big chain store, like say we go to North 40, and just get the cheap salt, mixing salt, no iodine in it, just the simple white, fine.
Fine.
You want fine, don't get the coarse stuff. Coarse stuff actually has lesser salt percentage in it. So you get that, and normally, say if you don't have a tub, you don't have to have this set up. I just had a lot of stuff to do, and you can just lay it on a tarp outside, but it was going to be a big mess, and I've got a lot of stuff to do, so I didn't want to do that method. But if you just got a hide, I've got a bunch of hides outside right now, flat skins, deer hides. You just put them in a pile. Put the salt on it, rub it in, throw the next one on top of it, put it in a shed, in an area, throw a tarp over it if you don't have a shed, so you know it can be outside. Get that salt on it. Here's just a piece of scrap skin. I can try to show you here. I just flushed it on the beam there, and I got the salt in it. And you can see the salt starts to tighten it up right away. But this is going to be made into just a piece of buckskin. I thought instead of throwing it out, I would use it. But what happens is you'll see a lot of moisture run off these skins within the first day, especially, and the salt is it's soaking wet. And so then, the cool thing about this setup, your bathtub's got a little hole in it.
My washer has a hole in it.
And so all the moisture runs down, drains down the hole into the bucket. Otherwise, this would be a big pool of.
That's really pulling out the moisture.
Yes. Otherwise, this would be a big pool of slop, and that's what will happen outside. But it can run off and dissipate.
Okay.
So, and then the next day, what I'm doing is I'm going over the skin and I'm looking for. You got to make sure not to miss places, especially for hair on. You misplace where the salt didn't get in there, the hair will slip out. So I'm going to go over each individual skin, pull and look at it. Make sure I get the salt in every nook and cranny, and you just rub it back in. You can see there's like a fold right there. Get in all those nooks and crannies. Like I say, on a flat skin, this is way easier. It's just not so vital. You can go over it real quick. And generally, it's because it's laying flat. It doesn't get any creases with the salt you've missed. It's very basic. So that's what
Salting
I'm doing.
101.
And then, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to be on the flush machine there today, and I want to give you guys a taste of that, so you can fully understand this tanning process. A lot of times people have problems with tanning is because they don't really understand it. They're sort of just feeling their way through, and you're going to the first time, but get a general overview of the tanning process first, and so you understand what you're trying to accomplish and what each step is doing. It'll make it go a lot easier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I wanted to show you guys this too, so you can sort of see the process of the salting. You can see that these skins are quite wet still. I just did them yesterday. These skins I did a few days ago, and so what happens here, we want to get this moisture, and the salt is pulling the moisture out of the skin. It's tightening it up. So these skins, you just get them hung up, and I'm sort of strapped for space here. I'm not used to working in small areas like this, but this is reality, and this is something that you guys will be able to relate to, because not everybody's going to have, like the big workshop I had before. But if you have a big garage or the barn to work in, hey, that'd be cool too. You take a 2x4, once you get the salt on them for a few days, and you're just going to hang them up. You're going to hang them up, and then they start to dry out and turn white.
I see that. They look kind of a little bit crispy compared to the other ones.
And that is good. That's what we want.
Okay.
We'll let them dry for a few more days, and then we can fold them up and put them in a box until we're ready to go to the next step.
Oh, awesome.
So this is the cool part. You keep them in freezers, forget that. It takes up a lot of space, and the freezer doesn't do anything to it but damage it, because from the point it's put in there, it's going to start getting freezer burned.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
The salting process is the #1 most important step in tanning. Can't skip it.
Okay. All right.
Get that skin dried out.
Well, good. Well, thank you, Mr. Hilder. I was just going to ask, where's
more
your...
stuff coming up here.
Oh, yeah,
We'll
we
get
got
to that
more.
shortly.
Okay, we'll make another video. I was just going to ask, where's your mountain man hat today? Do you wear that 24/7?
We're moving a little bit faster here today. I'm in work mode, so
he's not doing a fashion show today.
no time for fashion. It's time for work.
It's time for work.
We work. We
Yeah. So again, this is just part of Mr. Hilder's off-grid life. He's raising his hand again.
When you're doing this, I'm used to doing this. I've been doing this for so long. Obviously, you're working with salt. You might want to wear some rubber gloves.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I got a cut in my hand here, and believe me, when the salt gets in the cut, you'll feel it. But as a general rule, wear gloves. My hands are pretty well conditioned for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, his hands are pretty. Wow.
I don't. But if you're doing it continually and you start getting cuts in your hands, they swell up and it hurts. But wear some rubber gloves.
Okay.
And it'll make it a little bit easier. And,
Yeah. Mr. Hilder's a real man. He don't need gloves. Yeah, his hands have been calloused and worn over the years.
I don't have time for gloves. Usually what happens is I put on the gloves when I wear them, and within short order they're tore off.
Yeah,
anyhow,
that's
so
true.
I just skip the step.
That's true. Okay, so from our mountaintop to your home. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will have more of Mr. Hilder coming throughout the winter, sharing in his man cave his off-grid skills and knowledge and all that good stuff. All right, thanks for watching. God bless.